Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Outliers YouTube channel and podcast series in our program, Get to Know. I'm your host, DP Lyle. Kathy Antrim, my co-partner, is off somewhere doing something, probably purse shopping. I have no idea, but whatever. I have two dear
First,
friends and wonderful guests, both of whom are outliers, both of whom are best-selling authors, both of whom have the award-winning and highly rated podcast series called Two Authors Podcast, which is a hoot
yes.
and a half. So go check it out, and you will have it. So I want to welcome Douglas Pratt and Nicholas Harvey to the show.
Well,
How you
thank you
doing,
so
Doug?
much.
Nice to be
Yet
here. I
again,
can't get
Yes,
I can't get it wrong, huh? I just say, "Hey, Doug," and
yeah,
that's
I get
right.
it right.
exactly. You got it covered. So,
Plenty of
uh,
us.
so tell me about the podcast because it got some recognition recently as the best author podcast out there. Uh, Tell me about that. How you guys came up with that and what it's all about. And are you looking for guests? And maybe there's some people out there that would want to be a guest.
Yeah, well, we paid the young lady in England to put us at the top of that list. Yeah, we
Yes,
weren't on it
yes.
before we paid her, but she did that. But that was very, very kind of her. Yeah, it's grown, hasn't it, Doug?
Yes.
The last year, it's really kind of taken off, and we've been really fortunate to have some amazing guests on the show with
Oh
us.
yeah, we've had some
And
really grown. I mean, unless we did have that DP Lyle guy on
Yeah.
last year, and he was pretty good, but
You got to do
he
charitable things every now and then.
yeah, yeah. So it's yeah, we also started having some industry folks on. We hadn't really done that up until I guess a year now. We've been doing it, and our audience is mainly other authors, budding authors, or folks that have even been around a while, experienced, and I think they're mixing it up with a little bit of industry stuff. We try and make it not just, hey, come on and sell your wares. It's kind of, present something that is a takeaway
right.
for the audience.
Well,
And
I think
then, yeah,
we have a little value. We want to make sure that whatever we're offering isn't just the next course that people can take. It's something that we think is a value to emerging authors and established authors as well. So.
yeah. I think the
So,
general rule of thumb is if we want to talk to them, then I'm guessing that other authors will want to hear from them too.
That's really all we do is like, who do we want to talk to?
exactly. That's
We
how
don't
we do
really
it
care.
too.
Yeah.
Well,
Who
except
can
for
we
you
have
guys,
fun with? Oh
we
yeah,
feel
yeah.
obligated to talk to you guys. Um,
We're
so,
like, oh, the bottom of the barrel's here. Doug and Nick are
exactly.
coming in.
So, Doug, you're in Memphis, obviously, one of the barbecue capitals of the world,
What? No,
and
the barbecue capital.
the
Don't make
yeah,
me
yeah,
don't
yeah,
make come out to L.A. and tell you
yeah, yeah.
exactly what it
If
is.
you
So,
want it unsauced, it's perfect. Yes. Uh, yeah.
it's not
Uh,
actually that's not entirely true. But we could
yeah.
go into hours of barbecue talk if you would like. But
Exactly. Exactly. People take their barbecues seriously in the South for sure.
very
And
much
Nick,
so.
you're somewhere in the Caribbean. Who knows where? You end up bobbing up and down here and there. And I know you and your wife just kind of travel around and decide where you're going to be for a while. And where are you right now?
We're
In the,
actually in Grand Cayman, and we've
yeah.
for the first time in 6 years we have a bricks and mortar again, and we're based
Yeah.
here. So two
Yeah.
of my series that I've been writing are based in the island here, and we've been coming here for 25 years. So we've got a lot
Yeah.
of ties, and we finally said, you know what, we need to have some roots again. It's time.
Hmm.
So yeah, we're actually based
Cool.
and living here in Grand Cayman
You
now.
know, if you take those bricks and mortar and form it into a house, you could live inside of that instead of just having a pile of bricks.
Yeah, exactly. If you actually put them together,
I mean, put them
like
together. What?
Legos,
It's a lot to get ready to say. It's just like Legos, man.
you
Or
can
whatever.
actually
Did they
have
have Legos in Britain? I don't know.
Lincoln
Yes.
Logs. I remember Lincoln Logs.
Well,
I'm so
we
old.
don't have like Vegemite over here. They got that over Australia, so
Yeah,
they
well,
may not
why
have
would you?
Legos. So
I mean, Vegemite barbecue. This is not a contest.
You've lost control of this podcast
I'd
already,
say we
Doug.
have
You've
Completely and
derailed it
completely
totally.
lost
already.
control.
So if
Completely.
you guys obviously one in the Caribbean and one in Memphis, and when you do your podcast, you have sometimes logistical problems on making it work and
Oh,
everything fit together and weather
oftentimes,
and
yes.
time and all that.
Yeah.
It's last year we were still traveling, and we signed the papers on this place in September. We already had 3 months of travel planned, and we were in New Zealand, Fiji for a week, and then Australia. So, and we were in New Zealand and Australia for I think 6 or 7 weeks, working from down there. So logistics of getting timing for guests to record between being down under Doug in Memphis, and then we had a couple of guests on that were in the UK. I was getting up at like 5 in the morning to record just so it'd be a sensible time of day for everyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah. Sometimes the internet can be an issue, depending on where we are. But yeah, otherwise it's mostly just a timing issue. Who can be what time zones, what we hit. So
And if you're in the South Pacific, even what day is it?
oh yeah,
So
no,
there
he's
is that
always is
problem too.
Oh,
always like a day ahead of where I was. I was like, ah,
calendar invites were, I mean, we have enough trouble with calendar invites between East Coast time and Central time and making sure we're on the same page.
Exactly.
When it was like
yep.
18 hours apart, it was a train wreck.
Especially
Wow.
since when you travel, and I haven't figured this out yet, your computer and your phone and your iPad all want to change the times different. One of them will
Oh
leave it
yes,
where you were. Some of them will change you to the new time. And I have not figured out how to make it stop. Just stop.
Yeah.
yes,
Leave it where I
yes.
said it.
Yeah, we've
Yeah,
had a
yeah, yeah,
couple of
yeah.
those issues where he would set one. He
Yeah,
might set the time in New Zealand and then be like completely off, and then come back, or we'd cross back, and it just throws everything off. So yeah, you gotta love technology. You think they could figure it out a little bit better, but what do
yeah,
I
you'd
know?
think. Well, Starlink may change all that. Who knows? Then you won't know what time you are. You'll be at Greenwich Mean Time. That's what
It's
it'll
just
be then.
that's always
Everybody will
yeah.
go back to that, and that little line
Might
in
be confusing, like when
downtown
I
London. Yeah.
yeah. So I don't know
So,
when I watch NCIS if I didn't
well, let's
have it
talk
right
about
time.
books for a while.
Oh
Doug,
yes.
let's start with you. How many books have you written? How many have you published so far?
Ooh, that's a lot of
It's a big
mathing there.
number.
It's around 34 right now. I
Yeah,
could be off
yeah.
by one or two.
Well, you've got a
With
new one
the left.
called Blood Trade, which, oh my,
Yes,
what a
yes.
title. Tell us a little bit about that and how it
So
fits
Blood
into your.
Trade is it is part of my Corsair series. Corsair is a former government spy about 10, 12 years earlier had faked his death, got out of the business, started a family, and just had a normal life. Then tragedy struck, and his wife and son were killed in a carjacking, and his daughter was kidnapped, and it kind of sent him back into that, you know, killer instinct and assassin mode. And that kind of led. It was actually a spinoff of my Chase Gordon series. I actually introduced him in Chase Gordon, and then took it to a whole different series, which starts with La Playa de los Muertos, set Puerto Vallarta. So these series are very heavy action. So if you're thinking like something Jason Bourne like with a lot of killing people. I kill a lot of
Well,
people.
yeah.
I kill a
High body
lot
count.
of people.
High
A
body counts
very
are
high
important.
body
Yeah.
count. Yes.
Well, I love
But
this cover. This cover is just, I
oh,
mean, it's
thank you. Yes, that
fantastic.
covers awesome.
Yeah.
Uh, so this one here, most of my other series are pretty much you can read it at any point. This one is definitely you got to read it in order, because it's following him as he's going from one place to the next, trying to get some stability. At this point, he's running on the run from the government, on the run from enemies. Because once he came out to save his daughter, everybody realized he wasn't dead, and so everybody now wants him dead. So now he's on the run with a 2-year-old daughter, and he's trying to get her to safety and get someplace where they can kind of go back into hiding. And right now, he's battling enemies, and he's battling the government as they're trying to chase him down and kill him. So it's a lot of fun. In this particular book, his former enemy, whose son he did kill, has kidnapped his daughter and is taking her to the Mid East, and he's on his way to rescue her. So this whole journey is
Mm.
basically him just going through and waylaying the antagonist's, empire that he had built on arms deals and stuff. So
Wow. Now you
so
got to do is get Liam Neeson to play the role.
yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
and
He
then
might be a little old for it at this
he might
point,
be a
but
little old.
yeah, but he can still play it. So
I
we'll
mean, you
see.
get DiCaprio. He nobody knows how old he is. You can't judge by his dates. So
No, no,
there's
no. Yeah.
there's that. Well,
Yeah.
So
fantastic. I love the cover. I love the title.
the
I love
cover is
it.
great. Yes, and
It-
yeah, we have a great cover artist. So that's been do all my covers look really great. It's they're gorgeous for that reason. But it's got to have a lot of feel. One of the things I like to do with this series is really give it the locale. And so
Hmm.
in this series, I've done Puerto Vallarta. I've had one set in Cartagena, Colombia, in the Amazon, and most of the time I've kind of gone and done a lot of research on it so that you feel like you're in the city that you're in. So this one's a little bit different because this is going to be all over the Mid East and
Hmm.
Middle East, and so it's kind of harder for me to get all that kind of in-depth research in some of the places he's going. But it's still going to be it's going to be hopefully very vivid and visual, and you're going to feel the setting as important as.
So you like to travel to the place. I mean, even if
I
it's in
do like to
South
travel.
America. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, when we did
yeah,
La Playa de los Muertos,
yeah,
I went and spent 2 weeks in Puerto Vallarta where the book is set,
yeah,
and we mapped out, chase scenes. We mapped out
yeah.
where businesses we wanted to go. Make sure we were, I wanted you to, if you'd been to the city and you read this book, you're like, oh, I recognize everything about it. That's kind
How
of my
how
goal.
how strictly do you stick to that geography when you're telling the story? Do you make up other things to fit in that framework?
Um, that it depends on what I'm doing. If I'm going to blow up a building, I try to make
Right,
that one that's not
right.
for real business.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
if
yeah.
it's
If there's criminal activity going
there's
on, you don't
criminal
want to use
activity,
it.
I don't want to. Yeah, but at the same time, I want you to know, like, there's a lot of people who
Mhm.
go to a lot of these places, and so I want them to feel like, oh, this is very very vivid. I mean, and you can't always. I mean, right now I'm doing some
No,
stuff in Libya, and so it's kind of harder for me to go. I'm just gonna have to use Google Earth for that. 'Cause, um,
yeah.
but
You
I
got to
think
use your
it's
brain. Yeah,
I do think it's important because I think you can do both. Like you
yeah.
can make up some fictional towns, fictional settings. Those work, but you still got to give them that realistic feel to it. Just because it's fictional doesn't mean that you know.
Right.
I mean, basically all cities, all towns have a certain feel and a
Mhm.
vibe to them, and you just got to make sure you carry it over. So,
Well, I remember when I
but
wrote the Royal Pain series, I used uh, uh, the real estate things to look at buildings and
oh yeah,
houses and stuff. I used, of course, Google Maps and Earth and all that stuff. And I also went and looked at, the restaurants and the bars and the boutiques and the stuff. And they all have websites and you can see pictures of all this. And after a while, you get a feel for the area.
yeah.
So I wrote those two books, and I can't tell you how many times people come up to me and say, "Boy, you must spend a lot of time in the Hamptons because you really nailed it. I've never been to the Hamptons in my life." But,
I did that. My book Havana Sunrise was the same way. I wanted to have a chase scene through Havana, and I've never been to Havana. And
yeah,
Google Earth doesn't work as well in places like Havana or Qatar because they don't go around there. Like I can go
those
to
little
New York
cars that
City.
annoy.
I can go to
Yeah.
New York City, and you can use Google Earth to walk along any street you want to, so you can see
Exactly.
what it looks like.
Yeah.
It's such a valuable tool. Like, if you're going to set a book in London, even after I came back and I was writing the book, I'd still go use that to refresh my memory. Okay, I remember walking
Mhm.
through this park, and let me remember. I want to make sure that if I have somebody running, he's chasing somebody down the street, I'm not running him into a
Mhm.
dead end. And somebody goes, that
Right.
street doesn't
Right.
go to the beach. Because there's always
And,
that one
and
reader who's happy
and
to tell
and
you
maybe
got it
someday
wrong.
they'll have
So,
smell-o-vision, and I remember they tried to do that in movie theaters once, and it was a terrible.
They have it at Disney. They have it
Oh, I
at Disney,
know.
don't they?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
There's
actually
nothing
pretty
yeah, they
like
do.
cool. It's
there's
Yeah.
amazing.
nothing like
Yeah.
the smell of artificial flowers. It's like, ugh. It's not exactly like walking through the rose garden.
Yeah. Well, they probably got a couple of those theaters in LA
Yeah,
that smell
yeah,
funky too. So,
exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, Nick, tell us how many books have you got out now, and
I
how
was
many
kind of
series?
counting in
And
the yeah, I was trying to count in the background when you were
yeah,
saying
you
that. I've
get the
got
you get the bonus of asking seconds, so you could go, let
yeah,
me
yeah,
count it real
yeah.
fast. I was like, oh
Well,
crap.
though I still didn't come up with the perfect number. It's
yeah,
approaching 40 with everything. So I
yeah,
have three series that I write myself, and then Doug and I write together the Green
yep.
Wolf series, which we have three books out in, and a one should be coming out in the next year. And then I've done some collabs for the Troll Authors group as well. So yeah, nearing 40. But this is the book that comes out today is in the Cromwell
Yeah.
series, which I started last year, and it's book four in that series.
Well, I mean, what a what a title! Her perfect time to die.
Also an
Yeah.
awesome cover there too. I love the
It
cover.
is. I
Yeah.
love the
I
I
like
like that
that
colors. I
one.
purple.
love
That
it. Yeah.
purple is really nice. Yeah.
So what a
Yeah.
title. I mean, that
Thank
will
you.
make you open it to page one and start reading. So what's this one about? How does it
Yeah.
fit in?
So it's there's a I have an kind of ongoing story in the background of this series, so it does roll through the books, and eventually will come to a conclusion, which comes from Kat Cromwell's past and challenges she has from her past. But this story opens with, honestly, I feel like the opening chapter, the prologue, is for me, it's the best one I've ever written. When I got to the end of writing it, and I rolled the chair back, and I'm like, I just gave myself the creeps in the biggest possible way.
Wow.
Nice.
And I sent it to my wife and said, give this a read. She's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
and
You're sleeping on deck tonight. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Dark read,
yeah.
huh?
It kind of gave me goosebumps. And that was her reaction. It gave her goosebumps. And I'm like, I think I got it right. So Kat Cromwell's an interesting character. You've kindly read a book or two in this series as they
Yep.
started them off, and she's raised by English parents, but she's based in Dana Point, California, which is a town my wife and I lived in for many years and absolutely love. So,
Which is like a three wood from where I'm sitting right now. Yeah.
there we go, exactly. You know the place. So,
Yeah.
and you're talking to Doug about locations, and locations can be so important. And for me, in my books, my other two series are set here in the Cayman Islands, and they're a character. And the same about Dana Point. Dana Point's a character in my books. So I use a lot of local sites and locations that don't blow up. Same way, it's best to invent them if you're going to blow them up. But I'm keen to use anything that's local and tie in with that and get the feel of that local town. Because Dana Point, although it's relatively large town, it lives like a small town, like a
Yeah.
small neighborhood. It's got
Absolutely.
a community to it. So I want, and Kat's part of that and involved in that. So that's an important part of it for me. And then one of the quirks about her character is she has a neurological condition,
Hmm.
which I found fascinating. I have a neurological challenge of my own, which is very different to hers, but so I had a bit of a passion for writing something about it into a character, and I tried to think of something that would be kind of unique and interesting. And memory is something that's always fascinated me. So I did quite a bit of research into how memory works, and she has a broken piece of the puzzle in her memory,
Right.
which is we have short-term and long-term memory, and I reference in the book as being kind of like there's this little clerk at the front desk that goes running downstairs to go grab the files from the long-term memory, and they're hunting through to find stuff. And her clerk is on break some of the times, and she
Right.
can't recall things. So she uses what we used to call a Polaroid. They have modern versions of them now that's just about the size of a cell phone. But she was given it when her kid, and it's a system that she's found works, that she takes a picture of something and she can use it as a visual cue to bring to wake up the clerk and send him down to get the memory back. And so it makes it's an
Well, I
interesting
found that one of the
challenge.
most engaging things about the character, actually.
Thank you. Yeah.
She's it's very unusual and it's factual and it's intriguing. It's kind of like when I first saw Memento, it's like, oh my God,
Yeah.
you know, had a great amnesia, retrograde, unbelievable, all the
Yeah.
different
One of my
aspects of
favorite movies
amnesia.
ever.
Oh yeah, and it really challenges you to stay with it and then to realize, wow, how this guy lived. Well, I feel the same way about her. I mean, it's like, how do you put the pieces together dealing with that situation? It's hard.
Yeah.
And then to choose being an investigator, like that's something with
Yes.
somebody with a memory to go, I
Yeah.
want to solve murders is and you do it really well, not
Yeah.
making it so focal. Like
Yep.
it's a thing that she deals with,
Right. Right.
but it's not the
Yeah.
centerpiece.
Yeah, I didn't want to make that well, that's what's going to happen at the end of it. She's going to get
Right.
something that jolts her memory and kick it over. So it's something that she's dealing with all the time. Obviously, she had to keep it secret. And so that's a storyline that kind of evolves in the first book and stuff with her partner, who also has a secret of his own he's keeping. So I think it adds interest and it adds texture and layers to
Absolutely.
the story without dominating it. And basically, it is a police procedural whodunit. and she's an Orange County Sheriff's Department investigator. And it kicks off with they discover a young teenage girl on a park bench, who's died. She's dead, but she's set there with teddy bears and with loving care, just dead on a park bench. And it turns out that girl has been missing for 7 years. And
Well,
she's just
you
shown up.
mentioned Dana Point as a setting. When's the last time you were there?
Good question. Let me think. It's been a couple of years when we were back out in California. Yeah,
It's
He said
undergoing.
that restaurant closed. You might want to go check it out, is what he's saying.
Yeah,
So,
it's undergoing massive change right now.
huge. Yeah, the big revamp in
They're
the
revamping the whole harbor there,
harbor,
and it's
which
going to
is
be all the way around
yeah,
restaurants and shops and stuff. And it's just another slice of old California being sliced off into the ocean and something new popping up. They say they're going to try to maintain the character. It never happens.
they talk about it in the book, and
Yeah,
from the locals'
right.
perspective of what's going on and stuff like that. So,
Yeah,
and it's a main feature down by the harbor there, and it's
yeah.
one of the things when you're in a town and your books are based there. I find this in the Cayman Islands. The Cayman Islands Grand Cayman
Hmm.
is 26 miles long, and
Right.
it's not very wide, and it's got lots of bits. You run out of places. Like where's this person going to live now? Where's this person going
Yeah,
to? It's the same in like Dana Point. You're trying to come up with something unique every
right.
time. But yeah,
Yeah,
it is changing, and I don't know that you can't stop
yeah.
advancement in
Oh no, you
these things,
can't.
but
no.
it is a shame.
And a
Yeah,
lot of it's for the better, but it still leaves that. I remember when I first visited Orange County in the mid 70s, Dana Point was one of the places I thought the harbor down. I said, this is one of the coolest places I've ever seen. This is so, so nice. Yeah,
some of the little places
Yep.
down there you could go in,
yeah.
and it was like a time capsule. Literally,
Yes, yes,
they'd
yes.
been there, bars had been there for so long,
Oh, the
and
Harbor Grill was there forever, one of the great
yeah,
restaurants. It's gone now.
yeah, absolutely. And
Yeah,
what we don't need is another strip mall that looks like every other strip mall in every other
exactly.
town.
Well, hopefully they won't go that far, but
But
I
a
don't have a lot of
Hooters.
confidence. We'll see. So, and this book just came out today, correct?
Today, yeah.
Yeah, wow, congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm excited to get a fourth one out there. As you know, in this business, Doug and I are both indies, so part of that is getting enough books out there that your marketing plans can start be more effective.
Right.
We've been doing well with the series. It's done real well over the winter. So adding a fourth book to it is going to help all of that. I'm excited.
Yep. Coattails. Yeah, it
Absolutely.
all
Very
worked.
true.
Coattails help, no question
Yep.
about it. So, Nick, where can people find you and find your books and all that stuff?
HarveyBooks.com is my website. You can learn a
Okay.
little bit about me and see the different series I do. And then I'm exclusive on Amazon, so I'm in the Kindle Unlimited program with
Oh, cool.
all of my books, so you can find it there. And then on Audible, and the audiobook for this is Shelley Reese, who's
Oh,
out in LA, and she's done a great job narrating this series for me. And we're probably about a week, maybe 10 days behind on the audiobook getting it out on release, but it'll be out soon.
cool. And Doug, where can people find you and find your
Uh,
books? And
so you can find my books at Douglas-Pratt, Douglas-Pratt.com. I'm also exclusive on Kindle Unlimited, so all of my books are available there. However, my pre-orders, so if you want to pre-order Blood Trade, it's available on all outlets for pre-order. So you can
okay,
buy it on Apple, you can buy it on wherever you would like to. But once it goes live, it shifts solely to Amazon and the Kindle Unlimited
yeah.
program. So
And what's the release date on that?
that one is April 1st.
April 1st?
So
You're kidding.
How appropriate.
I did. I know, April 1st.
Yeah. How appropriate. I love it.
Yep.
It's always such a pleasure.
I'm gonna have some fun promo stuff with it,
Good.
like,
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I'm like, hey, you get
Absolutely.
the free whatever. Nope, you don't. It's just a joke.
Well,
Yeah.
it's always fun. Hey, you guys coming to any conferences coming up? Left Coast,
We will be.
BoucherCon.
No, I'm gonna miss BoucherCon because it's all the way up in Calgary, and there
Yeah,
are no direct flights from Memphis this year. Next year, I'll definitely be back. 'Cause I
yeah,
enjoy BoucherCon a lot.
yeah.
I'll be doing Author Nation this year, and Nink,
Oh,
um, and we're
SPS
SBS in London. So those are
in
the three
June, we're
big
going
ones.
over
we're
for
probably
that.
going to be at Author Nation again this year
Awesome.
in Vegas.
Yes,
That's really a fun place, and
it
it's
was a
Vegas. I mean, why
What
wouldn't you?
more can you go? Yeah. Yeah, I barely saw you in Vegas this year. We only passed each other a couple of times, so we
Yeah,
have to
yeah, yeah,
make sure
yeah.
we grab some dinner or something. Yeah,
Absolutely. Well, guys,
yeah,
it's been great as always. We love chatting with you and having you on the show, and love you being part of Outliers and all of
uh,
that.
Thank you for having
Um,
us.
yeah. So
yeah.
that'll
We
wrap
love
up
it.
this episode of Get to Know here on the Outliers YouTube channel and podcast series. And as you know, we'll be back with other interviews and other fun stuff. So until then, keep reading, keep writing, keep having fun, and try not to get caught.